So the biggest thing to note here is that I have a strong acid and a strong base. And so I'm not going to have to deal with any Ka, Kb, any like weird stuff like that, because the strong acid and the strong base, they're going to just make a neutral salt. There's a lot of easier advantage of the strong acid, strong base, but most of the titrations you're going to be getting are going to be the weak of one of them plus the strong. So there are 4 stages, so we'll just start at the first one. The first one is where no NaOH has been added. So all we're dealing with is the 25 milliliters of the 0.10 molar HCl. So this is just any strong acid. You just do the negative log of that concentration. It doesn't matter if you got 1 milliliter or like 20 milliliters of it. This is how you do the pH of that. So that part's really, really easy. So negative log, where's log, of 0.1. So that gives me that the pH is 1. Second part, I'm going to have to put in some NaOH. So at this point, I'm going to need an equation. I'm going to go ahead and put it over here so I've got a little bit more space. So I have HCl plus NaOH makes NaCl. Again, that is a neutral salt plus HOH. And any strong acid and strong base will make the neutral salt. So ICF. I do need to go ahead and do my math here. So that's going to make that my HCl molarity 0.025 times 0.10. Like if you're not sure, it's totally fine. I mean, you can use the calculator if you want. 0.025 times 0.1 gives me 0.0025 on the HCl. And while I have it up, the next one I'm putting in is this 4 milliliters. So 0.004 times 0.5. So 0.5 times that's 0.5. 0.004 gives me that value is 0.002 on the NaOH. Don't have any of that, and the water doesn't matter. So I subtract out the lower one, which is the 2O, and I'm gaining this. But again, it doesn't matter that I'm gaining it because it's a neutral salt. It's not going to affect the pH. So what I have left is 0.0005 moles of HCl. I don't have any of that. And again, the salt part doesn't matter. So I just jump back to my negative log equation, but I have a new volume. So I do want to point out that I had the 25 milliliters, which is the 0.025 milliliters plus 0.004 milliliters. Or it was 4 milliliters, but if you do it in liters, it's 0.004. So now I'm going to put that in my calculator. Again, that's my moles, that's my liters. Clear. Log of 0.00. I just realized I put an extra 0 in. Maybe you caught me on that sooner. Or no, I didn't. I got it all in there. Sorry, just took a second. 0.005 divided by parentheses 0.025 plus 0.004. So I'm just trying to get the calculator to do the heavy lift in here. And look at that. I forgot to put a negative on the front. There we go. So my pH is equal to 1.76. So notice it hasn't changed a lot. It started at 1, and now it's at 1.76. All right, so let's see what happens when I add in, this is stage 3. It's all the same stuff except that one of my values is going to change. So now, instead of the 4 times the 0.05, I've got 0.005 times 0.5, which will give me 0.0025. So here we go. 0.025, 25, and that's going to make that become 2.5. So I don't have any acid or base left. I've only got salt, but we already know the pH of this salt, and we know that the pH is 7 because it's neutral. And then finally, the last stage I guess I'm going to have to figure out my 0.006 times my 0.5 is 0.006 times my 0.5, 0.003. So now I'm going to do my final stage. So this will be stage 4. And this time, this part's a little different, so I'm going to erase it. Need to zoom in there. This number here is 30. So now I'm subtracting out my HCl amount. So that gives me 0.0005 of this one. But remember, I have a total volume here. It was 6 milliliters plus the 25, which is the 31. So when I do the negative log of this, I'm going to do it over 0.031 liters because I added the 6 milliliters to the 25 milliliters. So negative log of 0.0005 divided by 0.031 is 1.79. But now look, this is OH concentration. So this is my POH. So you get to my pH, 14 minus 1.79 gives me 12.2. And that makes sense because now I'm all base, and so it's gotten really acidic. So basically just note that I start with a pH of 1. I start to head up towards that curve, and I'm at 1.76. I hit the vertical curve, so it's kind of like that. And then I finish off my pH.